Well, I am so glad that you are still here. A lot of what we talk about in this class, a lot of what's talked about in this book, and a lot of what I'm about to talk about is pretty triggering. So, here is an official trigger warning for those of you that are a little sensitive towards this material. I feel like probably the whole course should have had one by this point, and maybe it did. Maybe I missed it. I'm not sure. But let's jump in. Cut to another day where I have better lighting and I can articulate just a little bit better. So we're going to read Nancy's story. I'm going to just briefly go over the beginning. So Nancy is a director of nursing at a Midwestern hospital. She goes in for what seems to be a routine type surgery to get her tubes tied, during which she wakes up. I'm going to read her first account of that experience. So, she awakened after the operation began and remained awake nearly to the end, at times falling into what she called a light sleep or dream, at times experiencing the full horror of her situation. She was unable to alert the OR team by moving or crying out because she had been given a standard muscle relaxant to prevent muscle contractions during surgery. I'm now going to just skip to a section where she talks about what that was like to be awake for that. Nancy next recalls someone rummaging around in her belly and identified this as a laparoscopic instrument being placed. She felt her left tube being clamped. Then suddenly there was an intense, searing, burning pain. I tried to escape, but the cutlery tip pierced me, relentlessly burning through. There simply are no words to describe the terror of this experience. She goes on to say that this pain is unlike anything that she has ever experienced, beyond natural childbirth, beyond even feeling the scalpel tear through her muscles. Really horrific experience. And she talks about how after going through this, not being able to fully understand or grasp what had happened until days later. After that, it kind of fast forwards in time, and she is having this conversation with her psychiatrist. I asked my psychiatrist why he did not try to fix me as all other therapists had attempted. He told me that he assumed, given what I had been able to accomplish with my children and my career, that I had sufficient resiliency to heal myself. I think that is a remarkable note to end on in regards to Nancy's story. We're going to jump into my friend Eldon's, where he's going to share some of his, and I want you to pay close attention and see if you can find any resemblance or little pieces that are similar between my friend Eldon and Nancy. So here's that.
My name is Eldon. I am anxious, honestly, to be talking to you about some personal trauma that's happened in my life. But I was at a birthday party. I had a lot of colleagues there, lots of friends. I was with people that I thought I could trust, and I was with people that I was comfortable around. But then I ended up going out with some of those people, one of which was a married individual. This individual was married to a woman. They were male. They were someone that I thought I could trust. As the night progressed, we ended up going out, leaving my house, and they ended up buying me a lot of drinks, and I just thought they were being nice because it's my birthday and they're treating me, and why not? We ended up back at my place, and I passed out, unconscious on the couch. And I woke up to my clothes being taken off of me, and then I passed out again, and then I woke up again, and I was in my bedroom, and this person was on top of me. I was fully unclothed, and then I would pass out again, and then wake up again, and then I was in pain, and I didn't really understand what was happening. I don't know. I was not there, obviously. I was in and out of consciousness. And then that leads to the next morning, which I think is a great opener into the questions.
Now that we've heard Nancy's story and my friend Eldon's, this is just going to be a quick compilation type video of survivors talking about their experiences with trauma. So hopefully that can end on a slightly more positive note.
So question 1, what was it like for you following your traumatic event? Honestly, I was really negative towards myself. I blamed myself for what happened.
I was sexually assaulted walking home, and after that, I knew everything was going to be different.
Hi, my name is Brittany Anderson, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I just turned 29 and had my third. During the heavy part of it, I was really taken care of by family, doctors, nurses, and I am so grateful for all of them. It was after that when I thought that I was supposed to get back to normal and was not able to because my body was so different that I fell into a deep depression. I had thoughts of suicide and I couldn't be who I needed to be and who I felt my family needed me to be.
Probably the most pertinent one for me was the trauma that I experienced from ages 8 to 12. I was sexually abused by one of my best friends, a young neighborhood boy. I developed a lot of extreme cognitions, very black and white thinking. I thought, like I said, I thought I was going to hell. I thought I had no worth. I thought I was unlovable, and I thought I should just die.
What changed after my traumatic event? I moved out of Salt Lake City, my dream house, my dream little apartment in the city. I wasn't doing anything. I had left classes at that point. I had been a full-time student.
Everything. We actually moved across the US. My husband started law school. My kids started new schools. I could barely do anything. I mean, if I swept the floor, it would take me about 24 hours to recover. Extreme fatigue and pain and all sorts of other physical things.
Question 3. What steps have you taken to heal from your trauma?
I was able to get therapy and help, and initially that therapy wasn't great for me because it wasn't the right therapist. But when I did find the right therapist, offered the right tools, I was able to really begin healing. I found a therapist that does EMDR, and I worked extensively.
I think the first step that I took was to tell friends. I held it in for a couple weeks. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't think I was going to tell people. And it was really kind of affecting my day-to-day life. You know, I was living with a cloud overhead. And so one of my friends actually noticed that something was up, and they noticed that it was since my birthday. And so they kind of interrogated me a little, in a kind, loving way. I ended up telling this individual what had happened. And they were so compassionate and so loving and supportive. And they really helped put into terms what really happened.
It took me a very long time to even understand that I had experienced trauma and needed help. It wasn't until just this last September that I began therapy and have changed some medications.
How have I become a survivor? I speak out. I have learned that my voice is the only thing that I really have.
Just really being able to look at the distress level I have with certain events, the cognitions I have surrounding these certain events, and challenging them. That is what has allowed me to become a survivor instead of a victim. It's not like this moment that you hit where like, boom, I'm a survivor, everything's okay. It's just a process, and I think the overall process is learning how to love yourself.
My ability to acknowledge what happened wasn't my fault, and it wasn't my choice, and it wasn't okay, and that it was them.
I am trying to be proactive each day and really focusing on basic self-care. I'm also trying to extend a lot of grace and compassion towards myself.
5, what do you want people to know about trauma? For me, I want people to know that if you have experienced trauma, it does not make you less of an individual. To me, if anything, I think it makes you a more empathetic person. I think we can learn so much from people that have experienced trauma. I think we'd be surprised at the amount of people that have. If we can lead our life through amount of love and light, and we're able to share our experiences and give people hope that it does get better. And to me, that's probably the most important thing I want people to know. Oh, that's it. That's about all the questions. What do you think, Louie? What do you think, Lou? He's over it.